I know, I'm really sorry that this background is so boring. Like, I'm upstairs and I'm in the kitchen and I just decided to record a video, so really sorry about this plain background. Okay, so we gotta do this quickly because I think my parents might be coming home soon. I'm alone in the house right now and I just came back from an 8 a.m. class. That's like the third time I've said that. I'm like recording 3 videos at once right now. So today we'll be going through all the books I want to read before the year is over. Yeah, my reading vlogs are taking a lot longer to record than I thought, so I needed to come up with a video ASAP. I saw people doing this type of video because obviously the end of the year is coming up soon. It's September the 9th currently. So we have over 20 plus books on this list and I don't have the physical books with me right now. They're downstairs and I'm like way too lazy to get them, so hopefully the pictures will pop up if I'm not too lazy to edit this video. Okay, let's just get started, shall we? So the first one is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. It's the first book in the Folk of the Air series, I believe that series is called. If I'm being honest, I don't really know what this is about. I know the first book is like very falsely promoted as like a romantasy when really it's like political fantasy with a subplot romance, which I love, but obviously if it's like falsely promoted as a romantasy, people aren't gonna like it. But I'm really looking forward to it because of the subplot romance, which is how I like prefer my romance in fantasy books. But also what freaks me out is that I heard the main character has like a tail and I've seen it in fan art. I don't know how to feel about that. I just know it's like a very, very good enemies to lovers where they absolutely hate each other in the first book. The main character writes her name continuously in like his journal or something, and that's the part I'm really looking forward to. I do know this has fae in it. I haven't read like a fae book in a while, so when I do read this, I need to be in the mood for it. Next one is a Christmas book I probably want to read in December. It's Love Light Farms by B.K. Borson, and it's the first book in the Love Light series. I'm just guessing most of these series names, okay? Don't trust me on them. This will be my first Christmas book if I do get to reading it this year. Like, I've never read a Christmas book before. I've never read a Christmas romance. I just heavily got into like romance books this year, and I heard it's like one of them owns a tree farm or something. The cover looks really cute, and I hear really good things about this series, and apparently it just ended, and each book in this series is like based off like a different season. Next one is Never Fade by Alexandra Bracken, and it's the second book in the Darkest Mind series. So I watched a movie a really long time ago, like my first time a long time ago. Literally the last time I watched it was about a month ago, I think, and I became obsessed with that movie. I rewatched it so many times. I read the first book I think a few months ago, and then I tried reading the second book. I wasn't feeling it. I only got like 50% of the way through, and I really do want to finish it by the end of this year, maybe even get to the third book, but I don't know about that. So my goal for now is to finish the second book. I don't know, I haven't been into like dystopian books too much this year, although I did start reading In Ever in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. Next one we have is Things You Save in a Fire by Catherine Center. This is another romance, and I've only read one Catherine Center book. I believe it was The Bodyguard. I feel like this is such a random romance book to want to read out of nowhere. It's just, I really do like Catherine Center's writing, and I haven't read one of her books in a while. I don't really know what Things You Save in a Fire is about. For some reason, I think it's about firefighters. I have no clue why, okay? I never read the back of this book. I haven't heard anything about this book. I just wanted to read more of Catherine Center's backlist books. I just chose this one because I have it on my shelf. I kind of hope it's about firefighters now. I don't know how that would work in a romance, but I feel like it would be really interesting for some reason. Next one we have is City of Bones by Cassandra Clare, and it's the first book in the Immortal Instrument series, I believe. I have never read a Cassandra Clare book, and I think I have about like 10 on my shelf or something. I have the entire Immortal Instrument series, and I haven't read a single book, obviously. I really want to read a Cassandra Clare book before the year is up because I'm really interested in like her Shadowhunter world. I did watch the Netflix series, I believe, up until like maybe season 2, and it's like kind of terrible but also entertaining at the same time. But I also heard the books are nothing like the show, so I'm like really intrigued now. If I'm being honest, I really don't care about Jason Clary because I heard there was like an incest trope in the first book. Supposed incest trope, okay? I don't think they're actually siblings, but still kind of freaks me out. A couple I'm really looking forward to the most, Alec and Magnus, I believe their names are, because I really like them in the show. I don't know how much we'll get their POV in the books exactly, but still really looking forward to them. Next one we have is Blood Marked by Tracy Dion. Oh my god, I read the first book sometime at the end of high school, and that was like over a year ago probably. I need to get to the second book because I did love the first book. Like, I really loved the first book, and for some reason I just haven't gone to the second book. I have no clue why. I feel like it's a bit intimidating because it's a giant book, but at the same time I also like big books. I really have no clue why I haven't read this. It's like a King Arthur sort of retelling. I don't know, I think my brain just needs to be working when I read that book, because I do remember in the first book there was a bit of information dumping, but I also really did like the writing. And also, I love the love triangle. Like, this is the first time I've ever loved a love triangle in my life. I really want to get to the second book because I just want to know what happens with the romance. I don't even know what's happening with the plot at this point. Next one we have is Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews. This is a new release that's coming out sometime within a couple months now. I know it's coming out this year. I just can't remember when. I did pre-order it and I'm really looking forward to it because C.G. Drews is like one of my new favorite authors out of this year. I believe Don't Let the Forest In is like a new genre for her right now. It's like horror. I don't know if it's young adult or adult. I kind of just ordered it online without even knowing anything about it because it's C.G. Drews, and C.G. Drews is like one of my must-buy authors now. Everything I've read by her has been a 5-star. I'm not even kidding. She's so good. I think there's a queer romance in this book, which also really excited for that. The vibe she's giving off for this book is like creepy, sort of dark academia, foresty vibes, which really excited for that. Next one we have is a romance, and it's the Happily Ever After playlist by Abby Jimenez. I love Abby Jimenez. Oh my god, she's probably my favorite romance author. I read 3 of her books this year. There is no book of hers I've rated below a 4-star, so I really want to get to this other series she has, because currently has 2 series. I believe the one is the Friend Zone series and then the other is Part of Your World series. I read the Part of Your World series, all of the books. I haven't gotten to the Friend Zone series because I don't really want to read the first book because I heard mixed opinions about that, so I really wanted to get to the second book, which is Happily Ever After playlist, and I don't know what this is about either. I think it's like a pop star and then just a regular human. I really hope they share playlists, obviously in the title, but also if it is about like a musician and then just a regular human citizen having a romance, sharing playlists better be a part of this book, okay? But also Abby Jimenez just writes like the best romances to ever live. This one we have is Somewhere Beyond the Sea by TJ Klune, and it's the second book in the House in the Cerulean Sea series. This one is coming out this month, I believe. I think it's coming out tomorrow, actually. Today's September 9th. I pre-ordered my book. I heard this is in Arthur's POV. I'm not 100% sure if that's like correct, but if it is, I'm so excited because Arthur was my favorite character from the first book. To see things happening from his eyes, I'm so excited. And also the romance between him and Linus. Like, I hope we get to see Arthur's POV of just falling in love with Linus because it was so cute from Linus's POV in the first book. Next one we have is I Hope This Doesn't Find You by Anne Liang. I love Anne Liang's romance books. She writes like such good YA romance. I read her first 2 releases and I rated them a 4 stars each. I Hope This Doesn't Find You. I heard people love this book. I don't know why I haven't gotten to it because I love her books, but she's also coming out with a fantasy book this year too, and I pre-ordered that one. That's also the next book, A Song to Drown Rivers by Anne Liang. I think I kind of want to read her fantasy book before I read I Hope This Doesn't Find You. I don't know why. I don't even know what A Song to Drown Rivers is about. I heard it might be tragic, so kind of scared, but I'm like really excited because this is Anne Liang's first time writing a fantasy book. She's really branching out with her genres because her next book after this one, it looks so good. Like, I don't know what it's about, but the cover looks so pretty. It's not coming out this year. It's coming out in 2025, so it's not gonna be on this list. But if A Song to Drown Rivers is tragic, I just hope it's like the most beautiful romance I've ever read. Next one we have is Make My Wish Come True by Rachel Lippincott and Alison Derrick. Love these 2 wives writing together. Their first book they wrote together, She Gets the Girl. Love that book. One of my favorite romance books of all time, especially for like a YA romance. It's so good. So easy to read. Love that it's dual POV. The romance is so cute. Make My Wish Come True, I believe, is like a Christmas romance, so I'll probably read this around Christmas as well. I don't know when it's coming out. I know it's coming out this year, and that's pretty much all I know, but I'll be going to the bookstore continuously just to check to see if it's there. But I think it may also be fake dating. I don't know how I feel about the fake dating part, and since it's Rachel Lippincott and Alison Derrick writing together, I'm definitely gonna read it, and I'm probably gonna love it. Next one we have, you guys will probably judge me for not having read it yet. It's Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi, the first book. I haven't read the series yet, okay? I'm just scared. The hyped up books I've read recently, I haven't exactly loved, so Shatter Me is like one of those series that I'm kind of intimidated by because I'm afraid I'm not gonna like it, and I bought the first 3 books in the series. I know I'm like very irresponsible for doing that. It gives off like the type of series that I would like, so I'm really hoping that I'll like it. I think it's about this girl named Juliet, and whenever she touches someone, she like destroys them or something, but then she finds like this guy named Adam, and when she touches him, she doesn't like break him. That's pretty much all I know. And then there's a guy named Warner apparently that shows up. Honestly, I haven't spoiled myself too much other than the Warner thing. I'm really looking forward to going into this blind when I do get into it. Next one we have is Unraveled by Shannon Messenger, and it's book 9.5 in this series. Like, are you kidding me? The Keeper of the Lost Cities series needs to end. Like, I've been reading this since I was like 12 or something. I'm 19, by the way. It's been 7 years. So this is in the perspective of Keith, and Keith is probably one of my favorite characters from this series. It's about his time in the human world, I think, because there's like 2 worlds in this universe, and it's like the elf world and the human world. Keith is an elf, and I don't know, I'm just really looking forward to it because I know Keith is gonna be thinking about Sophie so much, and I love Sophie and Keith. I'm just waiting for book 10 to come out, and apparently it's coming out in 2025, so I'm just really looking forward to that. This one we have is Gear Breakers by Zoe Hannah Mkuta. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that. It's book 1 in the series. I don't know why, I just randomly found this series out of nowhere. I'm so interested. I've been interested in like the past 4 months. I haven't bought it yet. It just sounds so interesting. There's 2 sides, and like they're enemy sides, but then there's like this sapphic romance between 2 girls from the enemy side. Their gods are like these mecha they create, like giant robots, kind of like Transformers. I don't know, I just read like one line from it. It was something like the gods we worship so much are the ones we build or something. It just sent chills down my spine. Honestly, I have a feeling I'm gonna love this book because enemies to lovers, like they're both on different sides. I really don't know what's going on with this robot god business, but it just sounded so interesting to me. And like it's a duology. I feel like duologies are sometimes my favorite because if they're like really well written and really well paced, they become like one of my favorite things of all time. This one we have is Addicted to You by Kristen Becker Ritchie, and it's the first book in the Addicted series. I bought the first 3 books, and I have a feeling I'm gonna really like the series because there's a bunch of side couples, and I really like side couples. Apparently the first 3 books you kind of have to push through, but I will do it. I swear to God, I will do it. I feel like I'm gonna do this in like a 24-hour challenge maybe. I've never done a 24-hour challenge, but I feel like this is like a good time to test it out. So I think it's about like 2 characters, Lily and Lo. Lily has a sex addiction, and then Lauren has a drinking addiction, and I think that's pretty much all I know. I'm really looking forward to Daisy and Reich because I hear so much about them, and like just this whole world in general I'm looking forward to because there's like apparently good found family, and then like I just want to get to know this entire friend group. Okay, I just want to be a part of it. Like this is one hyped up series that I'm really looking forward to because I've really gotten into romance this year, and I wanted to branch out to like more romance series, and this one just sounded right up my alley. Next one we have is A Dark and Drowning Tide by Alison Saft. This is a sapphic fantasy romance, I believe. Alison Saft like writes really good sort of subtle fantasy books with like really good romance in it. The first time I read one of her books, I believe it was A Far Wilder Magic, and it was sort of based off of Full Metal Alchemist. I really liked it, and I can't wait to read this one. I still have to read her second release that came out, which is A Fragile Enchantment. I still need to read that one. I kind of want to read that one before I read this one, but this one I really want to read. Again, don't know what it's about, but it gives off like dark academia. Like you should see this cover. Like it's so pretty. I'll put it up, I swear. This one we have is The Sunshine Court by Nora Sakovic, and it's the 4th book in the Offworth Game series. I've been avoiding this one because I just don't want it to be over, but then I heard a book 5 was also coming out, so I don't have to be afraid of it being over if I read this 4th book now, so may as well read it, right? Maybe I should wait until the 5th book comes out, but I really want to read this 4th book because it's about a character named Jean. He's like the most broken character, or at least one of the most broken characters. There's so many broken characters in these books, I swear to God. He transfers schools or something and then meets like the most sunshiny person ever. Oh my God, what is his name? I can't remember his name right now, but Jean meets the most sunshiny person ever, like bleached hair, so smiley, like the leader of this very renowned XC team. XC is like a made-up sport in this world, and I can't wait for just that dynamic, like the dark character with the dark past and then like the sunshiny one who comes to heal him. I just can't wait. Like I'm so excited. Next one we have is The Way of Kings, and this was recommended to me by one of my subscribers, I believe. It's the first book in the Stormlight Archive series by Brandon Sanderson. I've read Brandon Sanderson before. I've only read one of his adult books. The Way of Kings just intimidates me because I know it's gonna be good and I know I'm gonna love it. It's just a big book and I'm a university student. No clue when I'm gonna have time to read this, but I really do want to read it. I swear to God, I will read it eventually. It's just I really need to find the time. Maybe when reading week comes up, which is like the 2-week break that we get, I'll start it. But for now, I just really need to find like a good time to read this. I heard it's like high fantasy, and the 5th book will be coming out soon. Again, don't know what it's about. I think there's like a subplot romance in here, which can't wait to seek that out. Next one we have is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. I've been wanting to read this book for a good while, but again, same with the Stormlight Archives, I need to find a good time to read it because it's a giant book. I don't really know what this is about. If you watched my bookshelf organizing video, you'll know the reason why I bought this book is only because of the title and only because the word orange is in it. Doesn't the title sound like so tasty to you? Like very random, but doesn't it? I didn't even read the back of this book when I bought it, okay? It was like the most impulsive buy in my life. I was like, oh wow, Priory of the Orange Tree, that book sounds so tasty. Let me buy it without even reading the synopsis on the back. I was stupid, okay? But I'm so interested in reading this book now. I think this might also be a sapphic romance. I can't remember, but I heard that somewhere. I saw it somewhere. Next one we have is A Torch Against the Night by Sabatir, and it's the 2nd book in this series. I think I mentioned earlier I was reading An Ember in the Ashes right now. now, and I'm really liking it, so I'm definitely gonna read the second book soon. It's about this girl named Leia and then a guy named Elias. Leia is a scholar and her people are being oppressed by the Marshals, and so to like find out more about the Marshals, she sneaks into like their very highly guarded academy. And then Elias is one of the Marshals and he's going through trials right now to become the next emperor. I don't know, it's very interesting. I haven't gotten bored once. Like the first book is so good, so I can't wait to see what the second book is about, because I never read the backs of these books and I had no clue what they were about until I started reading them, and I absolutely love this world so far, and I can't wait for the romance. I hope it's the most slow burn romance I read, because it's giving off that. I have a feeling these books are gonna break me, because I hear things about these books that scare me but also make me really excited, which sounds weird. And then the final book we have is Keeping 13 by Chloe Walsh. It's book 2 in the Boys of Tom series. I got 50% of the way through, but then I don't know why I just put it down. I think my brain was like overstimulated or something, because if you've seen these books, you know the text is so tiny and like these books are huge. I think my brain was just getting overstimulated or something, and also I think by the 50% mark, I think I was just getting slightly bored because it kept getting like very repetitive. If you know me, I get really bored when a couple gets together, and like this whole book is basically just Shannon and Johnny being a couple. I really want to finish it because I really want to read about the next couple, and I really do like Johnny and Shannon. It's just couples together really gets to me for some reason. I need to finish the last 50%. Hopefully I can do that this year. I want to do it this year because I really want to read about Joey and Aoife, I think her name is. So yeah, hopefully I can finish the book by the end of the year. Actually, hopefully I can finish most of these by the end of the year. But anyways, that's gonna be all for today's video. Those are the 20 plus books I want to read before the year is over. I don't know, 2024 has been going by really quickly and I have school, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to complete all of these, but I'll do my best. But yeah, that's gonna be all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.